What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, fixed air moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. I appreciate you all so much. I do appreciate, especially, I've gotten some donations sent to me over the past few days, and greatly appreciated, never expected, and always grateful. So thank you so much to the people that have donated to me and the channel and the work I do. There's links in the description. I always leave them there, but I don't really promote, people pushing the button or going there and sending anything, but they're there and it's always greatly appreciated. So I just want to start off with gratitude for that. Thank you so much. Well, let's take a look at the astrology for Tuesday. We're coming off that big full moon. I called it a super rebellious full moon in Aquarius, but that moon moves into Pisces and sensitive. So we're dealing with a lot of, sensitivities as this moon starts to wane, starts to, kind of that peak from the full moon kind of comes off. We can maybe start to get back to our own depths, our own emotions, our own feelings, and maybe try to navigate the flow of our own lives a little bit better. I do think there's intense, emotion, intense energy, and it can be hypersensitive, of course, especially as we're looking at the evening with the moon meeting with Saturn and kind of going to start to oppose Venus, but that's like really technically tomorrow for us all. But kind of just we have to learn and like grow from things right now and grow from experiences, and there's definitely a part of us that could feel a little disconnected from ourselves, maybe in a spiritual manner, maybe feeling like life's just a little slipperier than we want it to be. It's hard to, get a firm grasp on certain things, maybe within ourselves, maybe within people, within groups. But there's also that energy of like kind of seeing the building blocks and then having that discipline to like follow suit with what's going to better create in our lives. We're seeing the sun come off the square to Uranus. We're seeing Mercury retrograde come off the square a little bit to Uranus. So there's definitely like some more breathing room to kind of use that unique ability within yourself and your own values, and not maybe follow herd or follow suit with what other people are doing, but get back into how you feel about things, what's better for you, what's more creative, what's more in your light, if you will. And I do think that it's gonna start getting better as the week progresses. Mercury's going to be in a good aspect with Mars, with a sextile as Mercury starts to slow down and station direct at 21 Leo. And of course, Venus and Mars are still heavily in their square. So it's just this weird navigation of relationships and thoughts, and this like it's so mentally stimulating right now for how to make things better in our life and how to more beautifully find a way to compromise and make things happen. It's just like a little bit more intense and jagged, and we're almost like, on this big hunt for a smoothness, and it's hard to find right now, especially with Jupiter and Saturn in their square, and the moon going to square that Jupiter too this evening. Just amplifying emotion, but also like trying to find the discipline in the emotion and how to use it and how to constructively work right now, because we can easily slip down into bad habits and kind of just like let emotions take over. A weird example from my life is I haven't been eating like processed sugar much, like at all. Like I used to kind of like dabble with some sugars, some candy bars here and there and stuff. And I've done a really good job of cutting that out, and it's benefited my life. I feel better. I'm much more lean. Everything's, been going good there. But dang, not gonna lie, last weekend, like I saw some candy sitting around and I was like, oh, I wanna F that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it can be little things, but that they can compound into bigger things, and we don't want to compound the things that we know are messy in our life. We want to definitely see it for what it is and like try to find the passion to move into something better that's more purifying, that's more valuable for ourselves on a very individual level, and hopefully not let sensitivities, creep us into doing something maybe that we don't really want to do. So it's like really being conscious today of like what's pure and spiritually pure for you, and staying dedicated to that stuff and not like slipping, so we're starting to see where we could easily slip. And I think today's very obvious, like, oh, I could definitely slip here if I don't stay disciplined and pay attention and make sure that I'm empowering myself to create my day, to create my life, and to not let others dictate what I'm going to do, or certain circumstances or places dictate what I'm going to do. We're seeing the sun too come into this yod with Pluto and Neptune that we've been talking a lot about in this zone, that we've seen, of course, Venus travel through and be in the yod, and Mercury twice now. So the sun's really illuminating a lot of the values of how we're trying to move forward right now. It's also a lot of the thoughts and sort of the introverted things that we've had to deal with or think about or be a part of. So there's a lot of light being shown right now, which can, really transform very positive things and very positive healing movements in our life. And, very pure, connected, very intuitive, driven action and identification right now. So we want to be very present, as we come into Virgo season, and, that's just a couple days away. Like we do kind of want to go into it with like a sobering mindset of how to get things better without it's just falling, just completely giving up. So it's like we can't give up. We got to be very on our game right now, and keep pushing, keep striving, keep being disciplined for a life that is unique and special for ourselves. And that's where I think, Uranus has given a lot of insights into our values as individuals, and we want to use that moving forward. If we're going to use Venus and Mars, like how can we intensify and like really move forward with a really good mental state of what's better in our day-to-day life, and how do we express that to people, and how do we, not cause war necessarily, but this is the two dispositors of the nodes: Venus the south node and Mars the north node. So there's just so many choices that we get to make right now about how to bring some harmony and balance into our strong identified action. But it's not easy to do that either. So there's a lot that's being understood right now. There's a lot of healing. Mercury's getting ready to trine Chiron again, and station in that trine. So there is a lot of positive things to take away from the intensity, and a lot of it is just like really focusing on what's best for you right now, and incorporating that into how you're relating with things outside of yourself, and trying your best to be unaffected by the life that's going on around you, to not follow suit with things that might be a little crazy, a little weird. Maybe that's fun, maybe that's exciting for some. By all means, if that's the life you want to create, like that's it. That's good. That's unique to you. If it's not, and you're trying to like calm your nerves down a little bit, then it's a good opportunity to do that by like taking yourself out of, the firing range of everything around you, and realizing that you're not, ultimately a part of other situations. You're a part of your situation, and you got to do what's best to transmute energy in your own way, and to come to the positive understandings of how to act on things that are going to bring better negotiation tactics, or negotiations, or just some kind of a balance into how you identify and move forward and, conquer this journey of life on a day-to-day basis. So lots of moving parts as always. Hope you navigate the day well. Hope everybody's doing great. Always wishing you the best. Yeah, full moons are definitely the peak. So in a lot of ways, this can definitely, definitely be a day where we can kind of start to take a breath. And even a moon in Pisces with Saturn, like, taking time to take some deep breaths, to connect with yourself and to connect with the universe and God and all these different, spiritual layers could be what's necessary too, to kind of, because it is so heady with Venus and Virgo and Mars and Gemini, and they're squaring and they're dispositors, Mercury retrograde, and there's just so much inner dialogue and so many things to contemplate and to figure out. And sometimes it's good to quiet the mind, right? And kind of just check in emotionally instead of just mentally right now, also. So if you need to take a break and check in with yourself, I would, advise that's a great idea. Don't forget about the depth of your own needs and your own emotions and feelings. The world, oh my God, the world. Well, the world's gonna keep on turning, keep on turning. It's a completion card, right? The world, it definitely is this finishing element, and maybe we're all, at a point where we are finishing certain chapters in our life, and we're starting to see how to really get the ball rolling for where the new chapter. And for many, 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 many souls, like I think that new chapter started with the 20-year cycle of Jupiter and Saturn in 2020, and it's right where Pluto's at, and it's just interesting to think about. It's like there's there's levels from the old world that can be incorporated into your new world, but there's also like you kind of want to double down for where you ultimately want to go and who you ultimately want to be. And you have to be okay with the completion of certain things and be able to move on to the next chapter. It reminds me, since school just started for Sterling, like he loved kindergarten. He's in first grade now. Got to be excited for first grade. It's like, it even reminded me of like, I had a really good teacher in fifth grade. And then I loved that teacher. I had a great fifth grade year. And then sixth grade, I went to a new school, middle school, out of elementary school. And like, gosh, I wanted to, kind of stay back. And I was nervous about going to a new school. But it was always fun. And then there's new people and friends and all these, cool new things and growth that takes place. So I think it's like remembering that there's always a next chapter, there's always a next stage, and we don't want to be, scared of the level up in life. So I feel like this world card's saying, like, don't be afraid to let go of the things that are not serving you at a higher level, because the next chapter, the next run through is just a higher level for yourself, and embrace that higher level and do things that are good for that next level. Don't hold yourself back just because maybe it's a little intimidating to go to the next stage in life. I love you all. I appreciate you all. I hope you have a great Tuesday, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Much love. Peace.